welcome back to my channel, or if you're new around here, welcome to my channel. My name is Harriet, and since becoming a Disney Cruise Line crew member back in 2018, I've become a little bit of a fangirl for everything to do with Disney Cruise Line. Any new information, any exciting new announcements or things that happen to do with Cruise Line, I'm all over it, and I will be like that for the end of time now that I am fully immersed into the Disney Cruise Line universe. And the last couple of months, March and April, have been so exciting to do with Disney Cruise Line. So back in March they announced the exclusive UK sailings just for UK residents, the Disney Magic at Sea cruises, which is actually the first time we've been able to sail since March last year when the world shut down, which is very exciting. I'll talk about that a little bit in a second. And obviously yesterday for me, which was the 29th of April, they announced the new details all about the Disney Wish, which is the new ship joining the Disney Cruise Line fleet next year in the summer of 2022, and it's so exciting. All of the new things that we've learnt about the Disney Wish, which I will go into just after I've talked about the Disney Magic at Sea cruises. In April they started to release more information, and today, actually the day that I'm filming this, which is the 30th of April, everybody is now able to book the cruises, so more information has come out again about what kind of things you can expect. Obviously it's a UK based cruise going out of the UK, coming back into the UK. It's a staycation, that's what they're labeling it as, so you don't leave the ship, you just stay on the ship the whole time, which is a really cool experience. You get to fully immerse yourself in the magic of Disney Cruise Line and to experience the ship in a way that you wouldn't have been able to before had you been getting off in ports and going on excursions, etc. You're fully able to completely explore every nook and cranny of the Disney Magic. It's amazing that it is exclusive to UK residents, because over here in the UK we don't get a lot of things to do with Disney other than Disneyland Paris, which is either a couple of hours away on a boat or on a plane or a drive through the Eurotunnel, so we don't get a lot of things happening for us, so this is a really cool experience. Obviously people were a little bit disappointed more recently when they announced some of the COVID precautions. You have to be fully vaccinated if you are over the age of 18, you have to prove that as well, which obviously in the next coming months, majority of the people who were looking forward to the sailings, people who were under 40, 50, who have families, were looking forward to being able to book to go on the cruises, and that might not be possible anymore. But still, what can you expect? Disney's #1 priority has always been safety, so that was always going to be a given that something like that was going to be a thing. It also says that you have to have a negative COVID test a couple of days before or 24 hours before you embark on the ship. You also get another one in the cruise terminal. If you test positive, you have to have another one, and then unfortunately if you don't test negative for that one, again you aren't able to board, which is a little bit unfortunate, but again, if it gets on the ship it spreads like wildfire because the ship is such a confined space, so if one person gets ill, everybody gets ill, so keep that in mind. And there's also lots of temperature screenings, safety precautions like social distancing and mask wearing on the ship as well, lots of reduced capacities and things that aren't going to be happening anymore because of COVID. But lots of exciting things are going to be happening, like for instance character meet and greets, lots of new experiences going to be happening, I imagine in a social distance way, with Mickey and friends. I know there's going to be a sort of princess gathering, which is exciting. There's going to be Toy Story characters meeting, there's going to be a Marvel show and a Frozen Freezing the Night Away sort of celebration, which I imagine will happen on the deck stage, and probably lots of other little surprises that they've kept hidden from us so far to look forward to. So there's always going to be some sort of Disney magic going on around you while you are there. Also there's going to be some stage shows, there's going to be Disney Dreams, and then also something called, let me just grab my phone to see what it is called, pre-show special Celebration at Sea with Mickey and Friends. So I don't know if this is going to happen in one of the theatres or if it'll be up on deck stage, kind of like a sail away, sailor wave kind of thing, but yeah, it's going to feature Mickey and Friends. It's a new show that they've got specific to these cruises. I imagine it's going to be little snippets of different things to do with Disney characters that you get to experience across your cruise. Obviously you also have the dining experiences, you've got Lumiere's, you've got Animator's Palette, you've got Rapunzel's Royal Table, you have the kids clubs, which is super fun, the Oceaneer Club, the Oceaneer Lab, the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique apparently is listed on here, which I didn't think it would be, but it is. You also have the Princess Royal Court Royal Tea, which is where you get to have a high tea with the princesses and have a really fancy time. There's also lots of fun things going on in the pool deck. You've got the Aqua Dunk, which is the water slide there. There's the Aqua Lab, there's Goofy's pool, there's movies playing all the time, the D Lounge for family entertainment, and the fitness centre. So lots of things are always going on. There's always something to do. You're not just going to be stuck in your cabins the whole time. Some of the prices go as low as £636, but that is for a 2-night cruise going out of Newcastle, and it does list that as 2 guests. Whereas the most expensive, this again is for 2 guests, and this is a 4-night cruise going from Liverpool, and that's around £2,365, just so you can kind of get a sort of benchmark of what the prices will be if you're planning on going at all. But if you are one of the lucky people that have managed to book for a Disney cruise around the UK, congratulations, that's such an awesome time. I will not be there, unfortunately. I did get a email to ask me if I was able to join. I would have been there in May, quarantining for a bit on the ship, and then when guests come on board I would have been there until around October. But unfortunately, because of prior commitments that I had in the UK, I will not be there with you guys, but my heart will be there, my soul will be there with you guys, and some of my amazing friends from the Disney Fantasy who will be joining you guys on the Disney Magic will take care of you in the kids clubs. They're amazing, so say hello to them from me. That's all I have to say on the Disney Magic at Sea cruises. It's just a very exciting time for Disney Cruise Line at the moment after being dormant for a year. But let's talk about the Disney Wish now. They've been teasing us with little details about the Disney Wish for years, ever since they announced that they were going to be bringing out more cruises to join the Disney Cruise Line fleet in the Triton class of ships that they have now got. They obviously gave us the name, and then they gave us information about who was going to be on the back of the ship, which is Rapunzel. Then they told us who was going to be in the atrium, the statue. It's going to be Cinderella. And then they told us a couple of weeks ago that Captain Minnie is going to be on the bow of the ship. So many exciting things going on. And then on the 29th of April, they finally announced lots and lots of exciting new details to do with the ship, which I'm so excited about. I can't wait to hear more about it. If I can't be there as a crew member, I would love to be able to sail as a guest on the Disney Wish, because it just sounds so incredible. Obviously, no ship is exactly the same as each other. They slowly start developing more and more as time goes on. It feels like the Disney Wish is a step up again from the last ships that we've had in the Disney Cruise Line fleet, since the Disney Fantasy at least. So many new and exciting things and technologies that they're bringing to the ship that they've never used before. Let's start off in the atrium, or the Grand Hall as they're calling it. They want it to be a bit like a castle, a Disney castle at sea vibe of like a royal ball, and that Grand Hall experience in the cruise ship. And it's a much bigger space. I know they haven't got a midship area, like an elevator, so they've obviously used that space in other ways. They've got a stage, which is amazing, and they've talked about lots of different surprises happening across the day that are going to happen on that grand stage, which is very exciting. Obviously, we've got Cinderella in the atrium as our statue, and then they talked about the chandelier, which has a wishing star on it, and it's supposed to look like fairy godmother's magic that she uses when she's creating Cinderella's dress for the ball. And I just think that all of this sounds so beautiful, and I love the way that they're describing it. All of these immersive storytelling, I just love it so much. I love the whole vibe that they're going for on the Disney Wish. We'll go up a bit more to the upper decks, because this is where it gets so incredibly exciting. They have the world's first, for Disney Cruise Line at least, attraction at sea. It's going to be like the Aqueduct, but so much more advanced. It's going to be called the Aquamouse, and it's going to have show scenes, lighting, special effects, and lots of surprises. It's going to be based on a brand new Mickey short story called Scuba Scramble, where Minnie and Mickey have created their own excursion business called Port Misadventures, which is funny because if you've been on a Disney cruise, you'll know that the people that you book your excursions through on the ship are called Port Adventures. So I think it's funny that the name is Port Misadventures. Obviously things are going to go a little bit awry, as they do with the Mickey shorts, and they're going to try and take you on their first excursion to Mermaid Lagoon, but obviously I imagine things will go wrong. The use of screens, by the looks of it, is going to be cool. I imagine they've got lighting effects and water effects, and it's going to take you all around the upper deck of the ship, and you're going to be like above the Disney Wish as that water slide goes around. I think that's going to be amazing. I think the new technology that they're using on this ship sounds incredible, so that is another thing to look forward to. As well as that, they have lots of exciting new things like a Mickey and Friends district for families with lots of pools and casual dining up on the upper decks. As well as that, they've got a new adult only area which looks amazing. It's got an infinity pool, which I imagine will look incredible when the sun is setting, when you're sitting there in the pool, the horizon in the distance with the sun setting. I think that will be an incredible experience. But we're talking about adults are getting so many exciting new things going on. They've got new storied spaces, they've called it. So they've got an area that's a Star Wars hyperspace lounge, which I'm super excited about. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Sort of starship kind of experience where you walk into the bar and it's like you're getting on a starship, and it takes you through the screens or the windows of the hyperspace lounge to different planets on the Star Wars universe, like Tatooine, Mustafar, Batuu, and many, many more. I feel like that's going to be such a cool experience. And I don't know if they're going to use other technologies to make it feel like you're actually flying. Well, I maybe guess the drinks will do that for you if you like quite a few of the drinks in that lounge, if you know what I mean. They've also got a whole suite of exclusive adult dining. So they've themed it to Beauty and the Beast, which I think is so cool. They've got the Rose Lounge, inspired by Cogsworth, which I think is very cool. They've got a new reimagined Paolo. It's going to be the Paolo Steakhouse, which combines the authentic Italian dining that we're used to in Paolo with the refinement of the modern steakhouse. And then you have Enchanté, which is going to be the elegant dining experience with Chef Arnaud Lollemont, who is a 3-star Michelin chef. And it's going to be inspired by Lumiere. And then let's move on from the adults and talk about entertainment for all of the family. Let's talk about the Walt Disney Theatre. The Walt Disney Theatre is going to be inspired by a magical forest. They've got Aladdin going on the Disney Wish, which we already have on the Disney Fantasy. They're going to reimagine it again. The one we have on the Disney Fantasy is more like the film that came out around the same time they reimagined Aladdin. And let me tell you, it's incredible. I love the stage show of Aladdin. It's so good. 2 new, never seen before stage shows, completely original. They haven't announced what they are going to be yet, but if they're anything like the other Broadway style shows that are original to Disney Cruise Line, I'm sure they will be just as good. They've also got 3 new entertainment concept venues, which I think sounds incredible. Obviously, we've talked about the Grand Stage. That is one of them. That's in the Grand Hall, the atrium. They've also got the first of their kind new areas. One is called Luna, which they said evolves from day to night, which I think sounds so cool. I don't really know what this is going to be like, but I imagine it's going to be maybe like the lighting, the setting is going to seem like the sun is rising and setting throughout the day. I don't know what kind of things are going to go on in here, but I think it's going to be beautiful with the way that they've described it. And they've also got the Hero Zone, which they said is going to be a futuristic arena with imagination and active play. Now, we're going to go on to something that I'm excited about, which is the kids clubs. Obviously that is my job on the ship, so I want to know what's going to be happening with the Oceaneer Club, Oceaneer Lab, Edge, Vibe, etc. They haven't mentioned anything much about the Oceaneer Lab, Edge or Vibe. The Oceaneer Lab does need a little bit of work to it, so I don't know if they're keeping that under wraps for a little while. Vibe, I imagine, is probably going to be a bit like reimagined Vibe that they have got on the Disney Magic and the Disney Wonder, where it's very modern, very contemporary, exposed brickwork, those kind of casual vibes. I don't know about Edge. I do know some information about the kids clubs that I don't think that they've announced. Obviously they've announced where the Oceaneer Club is, which is going to be on deck 2, because obviously deck 3, which is the atrium, is where the main area is. And then under that they mentioned that there's going to be a slide to the Oceaneer Club, which sounds fun for the kids, but on a counsellor's perspective, I think that's going to be a little bit of a nightmare, but that's my only criticism. I'm sure they'll figure out the logistics of it, but I know for me, when you're at kids club, you're trying to check in the kids. If they're sliding in towards you and your front gate, I don't know how that's going to work, especially if there's like Disney characters inside as well, or it's very busy. I don't know how kids sliding into the kids club is gonna work. But yes, they've completely reimagined the Oceaneer Club. Obviously in the past we've had rooms like the Pixie Hollow room, Andy's room, Disney Infinity room, Disney Junior room. They've got Arendelle on the Disney Wonder, and they're gonna have the Marvel Superhero Academy again on the Disney Wish, but they've completely reimagined it this time. It's gonna be super high-tech headquarters for the Marvel superheroes, including superheroes like Spider-Man, Ant-Man, Black Panther, which actually on the Disney Fantasy, the logo for the Superhero Academy is like a shield, and then it has the icons for 4 superheroes, 2 which we do already have on the Disney Fantasy, which is Thor and Doctor Strange, and the other 2 are Black Panther, who we were supposed to get on the Disney Fantasy, but that never happened for some reason. The logistics of trying to get him just didn't work out, and Ant-Man is also on that logo. So it's interesting that they're now bringing those 2 to the Disney Wish, so maybe the whole reason why they couldn't end up on the Disney Fantasy is the reason why they are ending up on the Disney Wish. And there's so many exciting things to do with this super high-tech area, and it says something about where the kids get to choose their own superhero suit to be able to put it on with the technology, and they get to like see themselves in it. I don't know, that sounds very intriguing, so I can't wait to see how that sort of works out. And then an area that I'm very excited about is the Princess Fairy Tale Hall, and it's going to have Rapunzel's art studio, Belle's library, and then Anna and Elsa's summer house. Belle and Rapunzel are two of my favourite princesses anyway, so the fact that they're theming two areas on the Disney Wish in the Kids Club to that is so exciting to me. And then obviously Anna and Elsa are very popular, so it's exciting that they've got an area to themselves too. And I can't wait to see what they're going to do with those areas, the programs that they're going to create for the kids, for those characters in those areas. And I wonder if they're going to have them come visit more often. I don't know. I know if I was a kid, I would be fangirling over Rapunzel and Belle and Anna and Elsa. So as an adult going on that cruise, I would want to go visit an open house or try and work there as a crew member so that I can experience those areas, because they sound incredible. And then a brand new area that they're adding to the Oceaneer Club, the Disney Imagineering Lab. It's interactive. The kids get to experience what it's like to actually physically make the magic of Disney and to create these immersive things to do with Imagineering. They get to create their own roller coaster and virtually ride it, which sounds so cool. I can't wait to hear what they have to say about the Oceaneer Lab and Edge and Vibe, and if they're going to add new things to those too. And then let's talk about the dining experiences. Anna and Elsa are going to be in the Kids Club, but they're also going to be in their very own Arendelle themed dining room, which is going to be a first of its kind theatrical experience. Anna, Elsa, Kristoff and Olaf are going to be there, and it's going to be, I don't know, I guess immersion, magic, technology is going to be combined with entertainment and dining, and it's going to be the first that they've done with Disney Cruise Line and Disney in general to do with Arendelle and those Frozen characters. So I'm very intrigued. The pictures show Anna and Elsa on a sort of stage in the middle of the dining area, so I don't know what it's going to be like. There's also going to be World of Marvel superhero dining, which again, it says it's going to be a technology showcase. It's going to be an interactive thing where you have your own interactive role in the action, which I don't know what that means. Maybe there's going to be some sort of technologies that you get involved with, or something that you interact with that causes everything around you to change, or the superheroes to come. I don't know, but it sounds super fun and very exciting for those Marvel fans that is going to happen for adults as well as kids. Super cool to be able to immerse yourself in that world. And then there's going to be 1923 Hollywood inspired, because obviously 1923 was the year that Walt Disney created Walt Disney Studios, and it says it's going to combine glamour and Californian fusion of cultural flavors. So I think that's going to be super interesting. They're going to add new storybook inspired staterooms, lots of different characters. The pictures showed people like Rapunzel and Cinderella, which I think are going to be super cool. They mentioned it being much more spacious, a lot more storage. The bathrooms look incredible, much nicer than my actual bathroom in my real house on land, and it's going to have a more luxurious feel. Not that they weren't already luxurious anyway, but just that up high class again with this new theming. And they're going to have more premium accommodation for concierge guests, and they mentioned the suites. Some of them are going to be 2 stories, which I think is just so cool. I think that would just be incredible. Like, it would be like living in a house on the ship. I think that's just crazy to me, the fact that there's 2 levels. I love it. And I'm sure there's so many more surprises to come with the Disney Wish. I just cannot wait to hear about everything else that's going to be in store. Can't wait to see more pictures, and when they eventually have their inaugural sailing, see all of the videos and things that people are going to show us over the next couple of years, and see how that's gonna go. And yeah, like I said, Disney Cruise Line are really stepping up their game here. With all of this information that they've released, it really sounds like they're trying to make everything much more immersive, makes you feel like you are part of the fun and part of the experience yourself, and that you have some sort of play in that, and that in a way that you are like, the kids are going to be in the Imagineer Lab, where you are like helping create your own stories and helping the story along in some sort of way with all of this new technology going on. And I love that they're using so much more new ideas in this experience, like with the first attraction at sea and the kids clubs, all of these things that are happening in the dining areas as well. I just think it sounds so incredible, and I'm so excited. Honestly, I don't know if you can tell, I haven't mentioned it enough. Yeah, I'm blown away by all of the information that they've released. That's all I have to say for you today. It's just me word vomiting at you about all of my excitement and me basically fangirling for you about Disney Magic at Sea and the Disney Wish. So many exciting Disney things going on with the Disney Cruise Line. I feel like sometimes we're the forgotten section of the Disney universe, but they're really not playing around here with all of the announcements that they've made recently. I will see you next time in another video. If you liked this one, give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe to my channel, that would mean an awful lot to me if you did. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Or as we say in Disney, see you real soon.